Our senior project class paired up with an organization called Learning Among the Oaks at Santa Margarita Elementary School. At the beginning of the quarter, we met the organization's heart and soul, Bev Gang, who showed us the Learning Among the Oaks trails at Santa Margarita Ranch. Bev shared with me that a large coast live oak had fallen at the ranch the year before, and the wood was used to make a new learning center on the trail. This oak tree would soon become the star of my senior project. First, Bev and I took a cross-section of the fallen oak to tree expert Dr. Matt Ritter at Cal Poly. Dr. Ritter taught us all there was to know about this oak tree. Looking at scars and annual growth rings, Dr. Ritter told us that the tree was approximately 138 years old. Bev and I got excited and wanted to share everything we had learned with the Oak Ambassadors and to show them all that can be learned from a tree cookie. But first, I had to meet the Oak Ambassadors. On January 27th, the Oak Ambassadors came to Cal Poly to tour the College of Science and Math. We served as their personal tour guides and showed them the Plant Conservatory, New Baker Science Building, and a Paws and Jaws lab where they got to handle animal specimens. It was a fun day for all.
I've been waiting to smile it, been holding it in for a while it. Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, tried to take the easy way. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way.
On February 13th, I traveled to Santa Margarita for a special Oak Ambassador training with oaks at the center. Here, I got to share the oak cookie with the Oak Ambassadors.
So what we would also call this is a cross-section of a tree. So think about, how do you think we cut the tree to make it like this? Yep, just like this. So if we took and we cut the tree down. So this cross-section is taken from the same tree. See all these benches? Mm-hmm. So they were from a fallen down coast live oak. And so they built all the stations out of it. And then while they did that, they made this cross-section so we could study it and learn from it. Exactly. And so it carries water from, where does water enter the plant? What do you think? The roots. All the water enters the plant at the roots, and where does it have to go? Up. And where does it go? How does it get there? What part of the tree? This light part right here that we're talking about. And what was the name for that what is the name for that? The sapwood. What is sap?
Sap is the sticky stuff like sugar.
Yeah, it has sugar and water in it, right? And so if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because it's carrying water through that part.
I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt.
During this training session, I taught the ambassadors how to study a cross-section of a tree from the outside in. We looked at lichens on the bark and annual growth rings on the inside of the tree to determine how old it was when it fell. My final showing of the oak cross-section was at Santa Margarita Elementary School's 120th birthday. At the event, Bev introduced me as Professor Wood, a scientist who would teach the school about the parts of a tree. However, during my presentation, the Oak Ambassadors interrupted me and connected the history of the school with the history of the tree. It was a really fun event and a great way to connect trees to history. In conclusion to my senior project, I wanted to create a resource that could be used by Oak Ambassadors in the future. On the Learning Among the Oaks website, I created an interactive resource called Oaks at the Center. On this page, Oak Ambassadors can scroll over photographs of our very own oak cross-section and learn about the parts of a tree, such as the outer bark, cambium, and annual growth rings. Also on the page, students can look at a tree timeline. This timeline connects events in history, as well as interviews with local members of the Santa Margarita community, to to the annual growth rings of the tree. This senior project has taught me the power of place-based learning and how much can be gained by looking at the inside of trees. If these trees could talk, they really would have lots to say.
Waiting on this for a while now.